Hey y'all, today we're going to do the Booktuber Quarantine Tag. Knickknack's Corner was the one that started it and invited some others of us to join along, and I decided I was going to do that. So we're just going to go ahead and jump into the questions. The first question is, are you reading more now that the world is shut down? And the answer to that is sadly, no. I am very fortunate with my job that I have the ability to work from home, but that also means that even though I'm quarantined and at home, I don't have additional time to read. I would say that I have some time because I'm not commuting to work, but my commute's only maybe 20-30 minutes. And during that time, I'm normally listening to an audiobook. So now I don't get to listen to my audiobooks. I've essentially stopped listening to my audiobooks because I just don't have the opportunity to really listen to them other than my drives. So I don't have that opportunity, but with that commute no longer a thing, I just read. So I've gotten a little bit of extra time. It's just not really, because I'm still reading the same amount of time. So I would sometimes do get a little jealous seeing all these people that just have all this extra time to read or play video games or do whatever it is they want to do now that they're quarantined, and I don't. But I'm very fortunate that both myself and my husband are still able to work and earn our living during this time of crisis. So I am very thankful and just very thankful that we are fortunate enough to have that ability. So unfortunately, no, I'm not able to read more, just differently, if that makes sense. So next question. Since work may be interrupted, will you be releasing more content? And that's kind of tied to the first question. Probably not. I had already started to try to do more once a week rather than every 7 to 10 days. I know 7 is a week, but bear with me. I was initially planning on doing about every 10 days to try to make sure, because I was trying to plan for the future. So with that and with my new project that I've started, I may actually kind of end up posting more and releasing more content. It's just not solely because of the quarantine, if that makes sense. I was already kind of moving toward posting a little bit more often. I will say that the quarantine, because like right now I'm filming on my lunch break, so that's helping. So maybe it'll help me succeed in those goals that I was already moving toward. So that's a good thing, hopefully, and hopefully I'll be able to release more like that. Third question. Does the situation have you worried, and how do you cope? So the answer to that is yes, I'm worried. I have a couple people that are really close to me that they are in the demographic of, if they were to contract it, that their death rate is higher. So that does, of course, worry me. It also worries me that I feel like my area isn't taking it as seriously as they should. Exponential growth is a thing. So it does worry me, mostly because I feel like the community isn't taking it as seriously as it should be. I've got a couple of coworkers that like to just roll their eyes and say it's just a cold, and I always reminded them, because I think I had another coworker say, not directly to me, but under their breath where I could hear, where they just kind of rolled their eyes because I'm not in the danger demographic, and they're right. I'm not. I'm generally young, I'm healthy, so I'm not in the demographic where I might die if I got the coronavirus, and it may just be like a flu to me. That's not a guarantee, just because I'm young and healthy, that it would be just like another flu. But even if it is just like another flu, I don't want to get it. I don't want to be sick. So I don't know of anybody that would want to get it, really. So it's a little frustrating when I'm surrounded by people like that. So my family and my actual friends, we are taking it seriously. We've changed, I play D&D, Dungeons & Dragons. I play that every week. And so we have now moved to playing online. It's a little frustrating, but at least we can still play together every week without actually having to get out and go to a shop, because we usually go to our local comic book store to play. So it's, you know, it's all about making adjustments and sacrifices, and it's also not just about you, it's about everybody, you know, your whole community and where you live. It's about everyone. So what worries me is just people not taking it as seriously as I would hope that they would have. And how I cope is just staying in my house. I know that sounds like a really weird way to cope, but I can only control myself, and if we're supposed to be on quarantine, then I am going to be on quarantine, and I can't control the rest of the world. But even if out there is chaotic and people aren't quarantining like they're supposed to be, then I can help myself by staying quarantined away from them anyway. So that's just how I cope. A little more upbeat question. What books do you recommend to people to fill their time while they're quarantined? And that is a great question. I always suggest The 13th Tale to anybody that will ever listen to me. I've done a full review on it. I'll go ahead and link it down below. I'm going to put a card up in the top right. It's a great book. It's one of my all-time favorites. I would also suggest the Mistborn trilogy if you're looking for something kind of longer, a more epic fantasy level. I would definitely suggest the Mistborn trilogy. I've only read Elantris and the First Era, but they're all really great books. If you're looking more for a thriller, I would suggest The Chestnut Man or The Whisper Man. Both of those were excellent, and those are just my recent reads. So those are the ones that are on the top of my mind. So that's what I would go with. Also, The Deep. The Deep was really good, but it's also very short. I finished it in a couple days, but The Deep by Rivers Solomon and a few others, that was a really good one. Next question. Have you read to your kids? If you have any, and what are they loving? So my daughter is 14, so I don't read to her anymore. She reads on her own. However, we are listening to, if you watched a couple of my wrap-ups, you know that we're listening to Gone Girl on audio. So we slowly make our way through that. It takes us a while, but she is loving that book. We're about 3/4 of the way through, so she is really enjoying it. She also just finished My Sunshine Away. Yep, My Sunshine Away, that was it. I had to think about it. She really enjoyed it. That was at my suggestion. And she's just started The Final Empire. So she's off to a great start. She has watched me read the Mistborn trilogy, so she was really excited to start it herself. And when I say started, she's just on page 30, so she's literally just started, only on chapter 2, but she's really enjoying it so far. She wants to learn more about the characters and kind of see where it goes. So, but yeah, there's no more reading to her anymore. She's a little miniature adult almost at this point, or at least she thinks she is. So she likes to just read on her own. So we tend to read together, just our own books, sitting together companionably. So that's kind of how we spend time together. And she really enjoys that as much as I do, she tells me she does. You know. Do you have any words for your viewers? So my first thought is just to say thank you. I thoroughly enjoy our little community. I love chatting with everybody. I love responding to the comments and reading them. I enjoy talking to people in the Discord channel. I hope that my channel continues to grow at this point. And so my main thing that I would say though is stay healthy, stay safe, take the quarantine seriously if you're under quarantine, and let's just all get through this together, and hopefully we'll come out with more books read at the end. And that's actually all the questions for the Booktuber quarantine tag. So if you have a channel, feel free to go ahead and answer the questions for your viewers. Let me know in the comments if you're doing it, and I'll check it out. So I hope to see you all in the Discord channel down in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe. It would help me out, and y'all take care. Bye.